Hey y'all, hi. So last week I had a day off and I actually wasn't even trying to go to Sephora. I was about, and I drove past a big, juicy, beautiful, fairly new Sephora near where I live. And I remembered that there were a couple of things that I needed. So I was like, as part of my day out and off, I'm going to go to Sephora and just pick up those things that I needed. Well, drama. In this big, beautiful, juicy Sephora, they didn't have the things. They didn't have the two things that I specifically went there to get. But instead of just turning around and walking right out, I browsed. I made a couple purchases and I bought some things instead of the things I wanted. So I have a couple of things to review for you. I haven't been in a Sephora in like a year. And I haven't done this like browsing, picking up a couple of things that interest me just improvisationally in the moment and then reviewing them. I haven't done that in a really long time. So I'm doing that. And there are stakes because the things that I went to get are sort of staples for me in my routine. And I am seeing if the things that they did have that I tried to replace them with work. And this was last week. So I've been using these products for a week and I'm able to review them instead of just giving a haul or first impressions. This is robust. And it's even more robust than that because I put on this entire makeup look using some of the products and then some other products. I'm going to talk you through that as I go. So a lot of reviews. I think this is always the way that it is. I don't know when the Sephora sale is. It's probably going to be, it hadn't happened, of course, when I was in the Sephora last week. I think it might be now as I'm filming this. It might be over by the time I post this video. I do not shop the Sephora sale because of a long and troubled history with overspending. In my experience, going to actively shop a sale to save money actually just causes one to spend more money than one would spend ordinarily and buy things that one wouldn't ordinarily buy because the sale is like a psychological trick. So for that reason, I don't make a point of shopping the Sephora sale and I don't make content actively about the Sephora sale, but sometimes I happen to be making content that corresponds with it. So if the timing is right, this might be Sephora sale. What do they call it? The recommendations. This might be Sephora sale. Recommendations content for some of you, but you know, the main point is just to be together and rest our brains for a moment, have a little respite from the terrifying wildness of the world in which we live. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. I felt the intro was getting too long, so I didn't say, my name is Hannah. I am a published poet. I have published a prize-winning book of poetry. We'll link it below. That is my vocation, but my work day to day is that I make videos on YouTube about beauty and fashion, of which this is one. When I sat down today to put on this makeup, I started with a product that I didn't buy at Sephora. This was sent to me in PR. I've never used it before today. I really like it. It's by Dieux. It's the Deliverance Trinity Serum. It says that it is for people who like a fast-absorbing, non-sticky serum that doesn't leave a residual shine. Really nice. And it says it addresses 3 concerns: irritation, the appearance of fine lines, and tone. And those are 3 of my skin concerns, maybe the top 3. So I'm really excited about this. But my main goals when I went into the Sephora were to get the Givenchy green color corrector, which has actually kind of risen to prominence as my green color corrector of choice. As my skin gets a little drier and I develop more fine lines, I've moved away from the one from Exa, which has some clay in it. It's just stiffer. The one from Givenchy is really hydrating and luminous and skin caring. I mean, that's like the name of the line. So I was really excited to get that again. And I thought, of course, for sure, they would have it. How could they not? They didn't. I also had run entirely out of my deodorant of choice, which is the PHLUR Vanilla Skin deodorant. I absolutely love this. It is a little bit exfoliating. It has some acids in it, so it handles bacteria, which I really appreciate. It's not just like a masking smell. It actually is effective without being an antiperspirant. And then it has that wonderful sort of warm, gourmand, organic vanilla scent that it's like cotton candy, but no one can smell it except for me when I'm putting it on. And I find that it layers well with other scents that I might wear. I just have really, this is like my 3rd stick. I was like, bottle, tube. This is like my 3rd stick of the PHLUR Vanilla Skin and I'm out. So I was like, okay, I need that. I have it online at Sephora. They did not have it in store. They had a whole PHLUR and, like gondola end cap. They had a whole PHLUR display. And I was like, they didn't have it. We'll get to that at the end. But when I realized they didn't have the Givenchy green color corrector, and I did ask, and this very lovely Sephora employee was like, we don't have Givenchy in the store at all. I was like, well, let's do a survey together of all of the green color correcting products in the store. So we went around, they had the one from Tarte. I don't like that. It's way too green. It's way too green and too thick for me. I'm so fair that something has to be really shearable. I have to really be able to shear it out unless it's going to be a mix-in. I've tried the one from Tarte. I decluttered it, so I wasn't going to get that. Sephora doesn't really carry that many green color correctors, and the one from Givenchy is like the only tried and true. But this employee reminded me of this product, which is the Makeup Forever Redness Correcting Primer. It is green. It's grayish green, which is perfect for me. It isn't as intensely color correcting as a real color corrector, like a concealer that's green, which is what the Givenchy is. The Givenchy is pretty pale and almost like a primer. It's sort of like a hybrid. And I used to use this once in a while. I used to buy it once in a while, and I really loved it. It's a very old product and tried and true. And I don't really have a nice hydrating primer right now. I don't really have a primer that's like my go-to. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to get that. I'm going to get it again for the first time in years. And I'm really going to enjoy it. So I got it. The employee that was helping me also pointed out that Sephora has a green color corrector, the best skin ever. This has been reformulated and put in a different kind of packaging. And I hate everything about the new decisions that they have made. I had never tried it because I knew it was reformulated. I don't like this sponge tip applicator. I think that's never a good idea. It is never a good idea. Why are we still doing this? And the old Sephora best skin ever green color corrector was so serumy and lovely, and it was in a wand, and it was my favorite. It was absolutely perfect, and it was so affordable. I don't know why they made this change. So this one, not only does it have this terrible sponge, but it also is much thicker and more green and darker. It is essentially exactly like the one from Tarte. It is nothing like the old formula. I got it to try because I felt I should. If I was making this video, I should. But just one try was enough to show me that it's not for me. However, because this one isn't quite as green as maybe one would wish, and this one is way too green, I have found that if I feel like doing the most, I can mix them together. So quite a lot of this, and then just a little dab of this, press it into my skin, and it's perfect. It is so perfect. It is so perfect that if my skin is prepped well with some good skincare, this is really good skincare. Its downfall is that it's quite expensive for its size. I mean, that's why I haven't been getting it all this time, but it's a nice treat once in a while. But it's good skincare. It leaves a beautiful finish. So if my skin is prepped well and I mix them together, it has that lovely effect of essentially color correcting my skin so thoroughly that everything that's not like an active blemish doesn't really need foundation after that, right? It leaves me looking essentially like I've already put on a skin tint. It's like green is the only skin tint that I really need. And so my real skin is really shining through. And you'll see in the footage when I put this on, most of my skin looks pretty good after I put it on. And I was loath to go in on top of it with like a conceal, like the Lisa Eldridge skin tint or the Refi concealer or any of the things that I've been using lately, because most of it just looked pretty good. And I try not to cover up my skin when it's looking pretty good. So all that I did was to take the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Chantilly and conceal some little spots, like blemishes I have on my jawline right now, this like weird healing spot on my forehead. I have a little redness around my nose. I just did a little bit of spot concealing and used the concealer a little bit in my under eyes. This isn't even a very bright concealer on me. It's like maybe a shade darker than my skin usually is, especially coming off of winter. But it was all that I needed today. And I'm really, really happy with the way that it all ended up looking. And the green color correcting was so effective that it essentially made my face the same color as my neck. And these days when I use my concealers, I've been having to then use a very pale bronzer on my neck to make my face and my neck match. So I'm pretty pleased with my color correcting duo that I ended up with on that fateful day. So that's complexion. I will briefly zoom through a couple of products that I didn't buy at Sephora on that day, but that I did use to create this makeup look. So you'll see the footage of me applying the Refi Clear Brow Sculpt to set my brows in place and using the Refi Brow Pencil in the shade Medium to put my brows together, to fill in my brows just a little bit, make them more even, make them a little bit darker. And you will also see me using the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Jewel Liner in the shade Smoky Quartz, which is a pretty new product to me. I bought this myself sort of to review, but also just because I really wanted it. This is one of my favorite products of all time. I'm really, really into this. And I don't remember right now if this is carried at Sephora. I think maybe not. In any case, that's what I used in the outer corners of my eyes. And then we arrive at the most thrilling and maybe my favorite impromptu purchase from Sephora that is part of this haul. So I was wandering around and I wandered past the Urban Decay gondola or counter, and I caught sight of the display of the Urban Decay Moondust glitter eyeliner. Now, I have a long and storied history with this product. I have owned and loved multiple tubes of this in the shade no, it's not Space Cowboy. In the shade, the name of which I can't remember. It's the one that's just gold, the straight up gold one. I think I also at one point might have had the silver one, but the one that is just gold and has the big glitter in it is such an incredible makeup product. It looks stunning. You can do anything with it. It shines from far away. It's this beautiful neutral gold. I saw it and I was like, I am going to buy that again because I decluttered it maybe last year, the tube that I had, but I hadn't used it in a long time because it was really old and it had started to separate and it used to kind of cause my eyes to sting. This one isn't doing that, so maybe they reformulated or maybe it was just because it was old. Whatever it is, this one isn't doing that, which makes me really happy. So I saw it and I was like, I had this sudden brainwave and I was very excited. I was like, I'm going to get that again and I'm going to start wearing it. It's the perfect subtle sparkle. It's so easy. It takes 2 seconds to just drag the brush along your lash line and it doesn't feel like too much. It feels like, I feel like it makes sense to me to wear this just like as a mom on the weekend, taking my kid to the grocery store because it's fun. It has that sort of euphoria makeup vibe. It's a kind of fun, sparkly eye makeup that makes sense with bare skin without a full beat. You know what I mean? It makes sense. Just a little flare. It's effortless in every way. I saw it and I was just like, that product, which I used to love and haven't had for a long time or haven't used in a long time, makes so much sense for the me of now, my current makeup vibe. Still a little bit of a sense of humor, right? A little bit of fun, but without trying too hard or doing too much and without it feeling like heavy makeup on the face in any way, right? So I was so excited. And then I saw that they were out of the gold. It was sold out. And I was like, maybe I'll get the silver. Sold out of the silver. And there was one other one that was like my third choice, sold out. They were like all sold out of all of the colors that I wanted, the ones that had like the big chunky glitters and were neutral. So then I went through and started swatching all the ones that they did have. And this is the last one that I thought that I would want. It is Starfire and it has an orange base, or it appears to have an orange base. And I really dislike orange eye makeup, right? This is something we've established. But I swatched them all and half of them or more than half of them had like a very fine, the glitter was very fine. And it was pretty, but it didn't really sparkle. It wasn't chunky enough to really catch the light from a distance the way that my old favorites do. And this one does. And so even though the base is like a little bit coppery, the glitters themselves are a mix of like gold and silver, which I really love. It's like a champagne-y mix. So I went for it because I felt like from a distance, the base doesn't really show that much. It's really the glitter that matters. And I'm so happy with it. It really does look kind of just like a champagne color on me. If anything, the copper undertone, because there's so little of it, it doesn't bother me. But also because I have hazel eyes that have green in them, when I wear red close to my eyes, it makes them look greener. And I think that when I wear this product, it makes my eyes look greener. It's that kind of like trick of contrast. It's not orange enough to make me feel like it's an ugly color on me. You know what I mean? Like I do when I try to use like a taupey brown eyeshadow and it's like actually just reading as orange on my olive skin. It's not orange enough to do that, but it has that slight bit of a red tone enough to make my eyes look greener. So I am actually kind of glad that they were sold out of the other ones because I always like to try something new. And while I would have loved to have the gold one again, it's more thrilling to me to have sort of evolved a little bit and be trying something else. And I would never have sprung for it if I hadn't sort of had my hand forced by the fact that they were sold out of half of the colors. So I'm really, really pleased with this. And I have worn it. I think I do not lie when I say that I've worn it every day since that day. I have worn it every day and I've worn it again, just during the day to be around the house, to do nothing. I've worn it out to dinner. I've worn it out dancing. I literally every day I'm over here like, and I just like so pleased with it. So good. That's what's on my eyes. That's like a very successful and joyful part of the Sephora haul. And I'm happy to report that maybe they changed the formula and whatever was causing it to be a little bit stingy and causing my eyes to water has been removed. Or maybe my eyes are just hardier now. I used to have really watery eyes when I was like in my early 30s, but not so anymore. My mascara is the Redhead Revolution Genuine Ginger, which you can't get at Sephora. I bought this myself a while ago. I can get it on Amazon. I'm not sure where else you can buy it, but I'll try to find out. It's a great mascara that's not black. Usually brown mascara is so dark that it just reads as black on me. And this reads as a soft color on the lashes, which is really hard to achieve for someone who is quite pale. So I'm really happy with that. And it's quite a good mascara. You can see it's buildable and it makes the lashes pretty fluffy. When I have that, I will buy it. What I do is that I buy this mascara and use it up, and then I'll like start begrudgingly using other random mascaras that came in PR. And I'll do that for months until I get sick of not having it anymore, and then I'll buy it for myself again. And when I have it, I'm always happiest when I have it. When I have it, I just use it, and I tend not to use anything else because I really, really love it. So that's what's on my eyes. Now, again, zooming through a couple of products that I didn't buy on that day, but that I think are available at Sephora. I almost only wear my Salt New York collab on my lips and cheeks. It is pretty much all that I wear. I find that, when I created those colors, I was playing with true shades of brown and grayish and gray, truly grungy shades at every value, light to deep, and truly neutral shades that don't read orange on olive skin, but that retain their neutrality because they're not too saturated and they don't have that red oxide in them that kind of goes red no matter what you do. I love the colors so much, and they've spoiled me for other products. It's actually been kind of rough as like a sometime makeup reviewer that whenever I branch out into other lip and cheek products, I'm like, well, this is garbage because it's like too pigmented, too red, not brown enough, not taupe enough, not neutral enough. I'm just like really, really exacting now that I have made those products myself. However, when I don't have the quad lying around because I take it with me and then I like lose track of it or leave it, I think it's in a bag downstairs right now. What I have found myself wearing most often is this Merit lip liner in Sportif, and it's brown enough for me. I like to really rub it into my lips so that it kind of integrates with the color of them and sets down a little because it's like a gel formula. I also found myself using this on my cheeks because it's really brown, and brown is what I like for my cheeks, and it's hard to find. And on the other random blushes that have come in PR that I have lying around, none of them are brown. None of them are brown enough. They all end up looking really red or really pink on me. So this Sportif lip liner is like my best blush right now, other than the Salt New York blushes that I helped create. So I put this on my lips and I put it on my cheeks. You'll see me do that. The formula also, it feels like it's the same as their like gel cheek blush, the Merit one. Like it feels like this is just that in a stick. And this works beautifully as a blush, formula-wise. So I put that on my lips and my cheeks, and then you already know, I went in with a fake freckles because this is another thing that hilariously I've just been doing almost every day because I just feel it suits me. I don't know. I F with a fake freckle these days. So I use the freckle pen, and whenever I do it, whenever I film with fake freckles, all of you in the comments are like, this is the best you've ever looked. Like people just really, really respond. But it's funny. I know that I don't freckle like this, so I feel like I'm really putting it on. And when I go out in public like this, I'm like, it feels like I'm wearing like a wig or something, like a pink wig. That's sort of how it feels. It just feels like it feels like a little draggy in my own way, which I love. Like I love that. But it's so funny to me. I would never have thought that I would get into freckles like this, but here we are. So that's the look, but that's not all that I got at Sephora. So as you know, I was there just for the Givenchy Green Color Corrector and the Vanilla Skin PHLUR deodorant, which they also didn't have. Now, I really, really needed deodorant. Like I needed it that day. So I was like, well, is there another deodorant in the store that has those acids in it? Because that's the thing. It's like the scent doesn't matter as much as the scent kind of matters. You want to like it, but it doesn't matter as much as the way that a natural deodorant, like a non-antiperspirant, a non-pore clogging deodorant works, which is not just masking scent. For me, it has to not just mask scent, but actually help to kind of fight the bacteria. And so the ones that use acid, like they have AHAs, BHAs in the formula, those are the ones that I find that work. So Necessaire they still make it actually. They make a roll-on gel deodorant that I used for years that's incredibly effective in that way. They were sort of like the original AHA and BHA deodorant. So we went to the Necessaire section and they did have that in the store, but they only had the eucalyptus scent, which is nice. And I would have happily purchased it. But they also had all of their stick deodorants and they had them in all of their scents. And I hadn't tried this. So it's a mandelic acid treatment deodorant, no aluminum, no baking soda. The deodorant uses, again, like exfoliating acids to make sure that your underarms don't develop a smell. And then there is a scent on top of it. So I got the Hinoki scent. Here's what I'll say about this. It does work in that I am a very sweaty person and I will get BO on any day of the week if I don't wear deodorant, no matter what's going on. If I don't wear a deodorant like this, I will be able to smell my own body odor, the classic body odor smell by like midday. So if it doesn't work, I know, okay? And it does work. I've not smelled that smell. However, so that's good. That's the baseline requirement. That's sort of all I needed. However, two things. One, it has a white residue. It leaves a white residue on black clothing, which I haven't noticed the Vanilla Skin from PHLUR doing. So it is a little bit less than ideal. I have to pay closer attention to make sure that I wipe it off, but it's not a deal breaker. It's just, I wish it didn't do that. Two, the Hinoki smell does not smell like Hinoki. It smells like soap. It just smells like slightly, maybe like earthy fruit soap, the fruit of the earth and soap. And we also have a small bottle of the Hinoki body wash and it's exactly the same. Just I associate Hinoki with like that rich cypress, really intoxicating fragrant wood. It's one of my favorite notes in perfume. And this does not smell like that. So I prefer it to maybe the Santal scent, which I like, but I really associate it with my husband because he uses the lotion and it smells great on him. But then I feel a little bit like I'm making myself smell like him and I didn't want to have that experience for like a whole stick of deodorant. So I prefer this to that. I prefer it to the aluminum scent, which is extremely floral, white floral. To me, I prefer it to the eucalyptus, which, it smells like you're in a sauna, which again, it's a nice smell, but it's not what I want for myself. So of all of them, it's the one that I prefer, but I don't love it. I don't live, laugh, love it. I like it. I'm glad it works, but I don't love it. So that's my review of that. And lastly, another thing, as I was walking around La La La, I spotted in the Sephora something I have been wanting for months. And there was only one left. I felt so lucky. I was like, it's a sign. That is self-enabling thinking that if I hadn't been planning to purchase it already, had it on my wish list and been able to buy it at that time, wouldn't have been healthy. But I did feel at the time, I was like, like a spotlight came down and I saw it. Look at this beaut. This is the limited edition Soft Services Retinol Hand Cream that has the extra milk scent by DedCool. So it's a collaboration between Soft Services and DedCool. DedCool is a perfume brand. They make several scents that I really, really love. Extra milk is one of them. It's sweet. It reminds me sort of something marshmallowy, but it has a musk, like the musk of the body. It feels really comforting. It's that kind of scent that it's like there's a person who smells really good all the time, but it's not aggressive and you can't really put your finger on what it is because it's sweet, but it's not a baked goods sweet. It is kind of like a milky milk tea kind of vibe, I really, really love the smell. Maybe not enough to like douse myself in the perfume all the time. I think if I had extra milk or milk, they make a milk scent and then extra milk, which is just a stronger version of it. I think if I had it as a perfume, I would get tired of it quickly. Like it would start to feel like sickly, like too much for me, I think. I've never really felt compelled to have it as a perfume, but it's really great as a lotion. It's a really great scent. And also DedCool makes laundry detergent that has their scents and it's really great as a laundry detergent scent, right? It's like a treat once in a while because it's too expensive to have it be always your laundry detergent every time you do laundry. But it's really, really lovely to wash your clothes with extra milk because it sort of feels like a lingering home skin scent, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. So I love the scent. I was familiar with the scent. I love Soft Services and I did have one of these before. The retinol hand cream is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's just a beautiful hand cream that is very powerful at causing the skin to resurface and combating the signs of aging on the hands, which my hands are starting to, I'm using my hands for work over here, right? I'm like filming B-roll close-ups of my hands. And I really am noticing that my hands are 41, right? It was really starting. It's like I never ever noticed it until all of a sudden one day I looked down and I was like, wow, my hands really look their age. And it made me want to start using hand cream, taking better care of my hands. So I've had this before, but I stopped using it. Or maybe they sent it to me when I was pregnant and you're not supposed to use retinol when you're pregnant. And so I think maybe I gave it away without using it. It though wasn't scented. And I think the scent, I've been thinking this for a long time because I have hand creams. Okay, if I have had hand creams, it's hard for me to remember to use them. It's hard for me to integrate them into my routine. This has a lot going for it. One, it's beautiful. It is so beautiful. So this like sitting on my bedside table looks stunning. I'm so happy to have it there. It reminds me to use it. It makes me feel fancy. It makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. It's so beautiful. It really, when I talk about skincare, it has to make me use it. It has to make me want to use it, and it has to make itself easy for me to use. We're doing like ASMR today. So this really does that. I just realized I had like a giant piece of lip liner stuck to my arm. By the way, I know the chrome nails trend is like past. Like we were all the cool girls were doing this like 6 months ago or a year ago, and I missed it because I didn't know how to do it. You have to ask at the nail salon if they have those chrome powders, and then if you're lucky, they'll be like, yes, we do. And they, do a clear gel base and then rub the powder on and then do a clear top coat. So I did it today at the salon. I didn't do this myself. My really lovely nail tech, Lizzie, did it, and I'm so shiny. I really like it. So my feeling has been this, my suspicion has been this. If I could get this stunning powder blue soft services lotion dispenser, put it on my bedside table, and then every night, right when I'm about to get into bed, I would see it and it would be like, aha. And I would also know that if I squirted out a little pump of it and rubbed it into my hands, that it would smell like extra milk. That if I could do that, I would never miss a day. I would never miss a day of putting lotion on my hands. That was my suspicion, and my suspicion, my friends, has proven correct. Over the last week, I have been wearing lotion on my hands to bed every night. I am so gone for it, as they say. I'm really sold. This was expensive. I think this was maybe the most expensive of things that I got, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was so worth it. This might actually be my favorite thing. The glitter eyeliner is really making me happy, but I'm so glad that I got that. It was a really good choice by past Hannah. So that's good. Okay, so that's it. Quick roundup of the things that I bought on that day. These are working for me, but I will get the Givenchy green color corrector when I have used these up. However, I don't feel like I need to go out and get it now. I think that I can make do with these. The Urban Decay glitter liner, I love it so much that I could see myself getting another color. I don't think I need the gold one because this does everything that it did, but I could maybe see myself getting one of the subtle iridescent ones just to mix it up because this is me now. Glitter eyeliner is me now. My new identity. The Necessaire deodorant, I'll use it. I will use it up. I cannot see myself making it through this without getting the one from PHLUR, though. I feel like this is going to quickly become my backup deodorant, and the next time I get a chance, I'm going to buy the one from PHLUR, the Vanilla Skin, the one that I really like. It works, but it's kind of a miss for me, actually. And then the Soft Services hand cream, an absolute smash hit. I'm so happy with it. I'm so glad that they collaborated with DedCool, and we'll see how my hands look. My hands are going to be like aging backwards. I'm going to come on here in a month and it's going to be like baby hands. Thank you for spending this time with me and listening to me talk through my adventure at Sephora and my Sephora haul, my mini Sephora haul. I'm not a big Sephora hauler these days, so I felt like it was a noteworthy occasion that I should make a video about it. And I'm glad that I did because you also kind of got to see like a, pretty standard makeup look for me these days. And it's nice to touch base about makeup once in a while now that I'm making so much fashion content. I like to kind of come back to it and not totally lose touch. So I hope you are doing well. If you are compelled to shop the Sephora sale without being too preachy, I'd like to give a gentle reminder that if you buy stuff you wouldn't otherwise have bought just because it's on sale, you're actually not saving money, you're spending money. Check to make sure the sale is not causing you to spend money under the guise of saving money. Because even if you are getting a percentage off of the retail price of the item, you're spending less than you would have spent if you had bought the entire cart full price. But if you wouldn't have bought the entire cart full price, then you're not saving. That's all I have to say on that point. I really appreciate you once again for being here, and I hope you're taking extra good care of yourself. Oh my God, I feel like it's 10 p.m.